We're going to talk more about all of this now with our Rome correspondent, Seema Gupta, who joins me from the Vatican. Seema, the Pope's funeral has been announced now for this Saturday at 10 a.m. What will be happening between then and now?
Well, what we do know is that on Wednesday, it's now been confirmed that at 9 a.m., the body of Pope Francis, who currently lies in a coffin in a chapel at the Casa Santa Marta residence, that's his residence, his apartment there. It's not in the Apostolic Palace like it was in other popes. He chose to live in this residence inside the Vatican. The doors of that apartment have been sealed. His body is lying in a chapel there. But on Wednesday, the 23rd of April at 9 a.m., it will be brought into St. Peter's Basilica, and it will be lying there so that people can pay their last respects to the Pope. And then we expect this funeral, as has been announced earlier today, on Saturday at 10 a.m. It will take place outdoors in front of St. Peter's Basilica, and it will be presided by the Dean of the College of Cardinals, Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, and he will lead the services. And at the end of the funeral, he will give that final concluding prayer that will, where the Pope is entrusted to God. And after that, the Pope's body will be brought to St. Mary the Major, or it's known here in Italy, Santa Maria Maggiore. This is one of the four major papal basilicas of Rome. St. Peter's is one of them, St. Paul's outside the walls, St. John the Lateran, and of course, St. Mary the Major. Now, it's a basilica that the Pope had very strong ties to. It was something that the basilica that he went to right after he was elected Pope. And he went there before and after every papal trip, and even when he was released from hospital after spending 5 weeks there earlier this year. So clearly, it was his choice to be buried in that basilica.
Seema, cardinals are already coming in from around the world, not just for the Pope's funeral, but also for the conclave that will happen after that will elect a new Pope. Talk us through how that will work.
Well, from what we understand, the conclave can happen any time between 10 to 15 days after the death of the Pope. So we'll have to see what the Vatican decides. For 9 days from the day of the funeral, there will be prayers, a daily requiem mass for the deceased Pope. And then we have the conclave. And you're right, out of the 252 cardinals that currently are present, only 135 are eligible to vote because you have to be under the age of 80. And cardinals are put in that position through consistories, and the Pope himself, Pope Francis, conducted 10 consistories during his papacy. And so he actually appointed 108 of those 135 cardinals that will be eligible to vote. So they will be sequestered, if you like, in the Sistine Chapel and inside the Vatican during this period of the conclave. They will be staying, in fact, at Casa Santa Marta, the residence where the Pope lived, that was specifically built to house these cardinals during a conclave. So they will stay there, but they will go to the Sistine Chapel to carry out the vote. The vote will be carried out at several levels until they can get that two-thirds majority of agreement. And then we will see the ballots being burnt and hopefully that white smoke coming up above the chimney at the Vatican. And then you will know it's Habemus Papam, or in Latin, it means we have a Pope. Of course, that's a long way ahead right now. At the moment, all eyes and focus, of course, on Pope Francis. And finally, when the faithful on Wednesday will be able to gather and see his body and pay their last respects.
Absolutely, Seema, and thank you so much for staying on top of this story for us as it develops there in Rome. That's France 24's Rome correspondent, Seema Gupta.